Warning: the media that is about to play will most definitely contain graphic and foul language. You probably won't hear the word clunge and cockwomble, but other American swear words intended solely for entertainment. The opinions shared here may not be shared by everyone, and in some instances will troll you and the rest of the internet. Not intentionally, of course. If you are easily offended, don't have a sense of humour, or have your head that far up your own arse you need a glass stomach to see out, this probably isn't for you. But for everyone else, have a good time, and as always, stay creative.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Bryan SilverBax Show. I am Bryan SilverBax. Today I'm going to be talking with Alan, and we're going to be talking comic books, and we're going to talk about all sorts of crazy shit, so stick around. This installment is being brought to you by the Capone Streams. Check it out if you want some streaming stuff on your Fire Stick. What's up, Alan?
How's it going?
I'm doing all right. How are you, sir? Like this, you're in California, right?
Yes, I am here in what appears to be sunny California. For the time being, it's not hell yet.
Now, when you refer to hell, does that mean temperature-wise, smog-wise, crime-wise? What is the hell that you speak of?
At this point, I'm talking about weather.
Okay.
The other hells are, they're scheduled for later.
All right. Or they're just so consistent that it's become the norm.
No, we have a schedule now. If you don't get the memo when the things happen, I don't know, but you got it. It's all scheduled now. The crime.
Oh shit! That makes everything easier.
Round 3.
Now you said that. Where are you in California?
Oakland, California.
Oakland. So you're straight up like Raider country.
I believe so.
Oh, not a football guy.
That's why they keep yelling at me when they're, about one step away from rioting because of their recent sports game.
Their recent sports game. So you don't follow the sports. But I mean, if you did follow NWA and Eazy-E, it's all about the Raider gear, right?
See, I don't really pay attention to sports because it's just not exciting enough for me.
Wow. So what does get your motor running?
I mean, if I was going to go for sports, I would like to introduce a sport where nunchucks and soccer are formed into one sport.
Oh, wow. So you're going to create...
Now, we could do that. That would be exciting. Nunchucks and soccer. Come on.
Now you're saying... It sounds like you're saying ninchucks. Like I've always heard numchucks, like N-U-M, or none, N-U-N, nunchucks. But it sounds like you're doing a different pronunciation.
Let's go with nunchucks. Let's go with that pronunciation. I could be wrong, but the use of the weapon in the soccer game, that's where it goes.
The two chained clubs, basically.
Yes.
All right.
Swing that and kick a ball. I swear you'll get viewers.
Yeah, I mean, what did that fake video of Bruce Lee playing ping pong with nunchucks?
Was that a fake video?
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How was it fake? I thought that shit was real.
The ball's CG.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, those bastards.
Yeah, they do a good job, much like those Nike commercials where the guys are throwing the ball from like 500 feet away and then like goes in the trash can and stuff. They had a whole line of those ads, but that was all. I mean, it was really, really slick editing, but yeah, that's not real.
How old is that video supposed to be or claimed to be?
You know what? I don't have my wiki facts on, but I do know that I remember seeing it was faked. You know, like I was watching one of those Looper videos or some shit on YouTube. They're like, here's some stuff you didn't know. Watch and stick around. And I watched it, and then they're like, oh, okay.
Those clever bastards.
Now, you are you're a creator, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I do play God on weekends, yes.
On weekends, like, do you write? Do you draw? Do you do both?
I am the self-imposed editor-in-chief, supreme commander of Phantom Electric Comics.
Of Phantom what? Say that again?
Phantom Electric Comics. With a K at the end. Phantom Electric with a K at the end.com. It's a comic entity in which I have been creating my own I guess, universe of work. I have a comic book series called Babylon, which is a science fiction soap opera set 100 years, or set in the future.
Okay.
Think of it as
Unknown date in the future.
unknown date. Think if I can sum it up, Sailor Moon on drugs.
Oh, wowee.
Yes.
I always
Yes.
thought that bitch was on drugs anyway.
No, these are high.
I mean, she has a little talking cat and shit, right?
Cat was talking. That's a completely different relationship. That was a drug-free relationship to speak of. I mean, that cat was a sentient super being of some sort.
So
Reincarnation.
by referencing Sailor Moon, I'm guessing you may be into anime,
I was at one time.
like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that.
I wasn't a Dragon Ball Z fan. I did not like for like 3 episodes. And I'm like, when is someone's going to orgasm? When is the orgasm going to happen? Because this is a lot. And then after 3 to 4 episodes of that, then something happens.
So as an anime novice, which I am, please school me into the 3 most anime things that you suggest I check out.
I don't know if it's so much checking out. My taste is dated. So
I didn't ask that, sir. I said, give me 3
but
that
you're
you
an
would.
aficionado. I mean, you're like, your shit. I don't want to
I do not know anime. I know a couple of titles, and that is about it. But what I'm asking, like, if you and I were buds, and I was like, dude, I've never seen anime, what 3 recommendations would you give me?
I will say explore the entirety of the Ghost in the Shell series. Every iteration of it has been spectacular.
I did like that. I liked it, and then I watched one where I watched the original one, which was all anime, and then I watched one where it was anime, and then they like threw some CG shit like in the middle.
I think that was Ghost in the Shell Innocence, and
no, it was the same movie.
They were trying to do. They were exploring. They were experimenting. It had mixed reviews.
It was the same movie, but they had taken different elements and kind of CG'd them or something. I don't know. It was the exact same movie, but they just like made stuff move a little differently. I thought that was fun to watch.
I think they were exploring the extinction, the question that was left after the first movie, where you're exploring the identity of what is a ghost.
All right.
What is that in relation to a human being?
Now, before
what is the relation to a human being to its, like this environment which is providing you a cybernetic enhancement, which is basically a conversation about disabilities, about those who are born with disabilities, and how society has managed to provide,
Yeah, it's the precursor for Alita Battle Angel.
Or living in that world.
Now, before we go to your other 2 suggestions, what did you think of the live action adaptation or live action version of the Ghost in the Shell?
I didn't care. I didn't go watch it.
You still have yet to see it.
No, I wouldn't. I don't care to see it.
And why is that? Like you like the property enough. Why would you?
No, I don't like the property. I don't.
Oh, you like the message.
I don't like to concern the artistic expression to be a property. I don't want to reduce it to its most capitalist, existence. Like I wanted to explore it from its artistic value and what questions it was exploring.
Right.
I don't want to say, oh, it's a property and therefore it's reduced to its capitalist and consumer, bits. It's like I don't want to reduce it to that. It's far more than that. It explores more than that.
All right. Well, either way, I had a good time.
I think the live action one, if you ask the people in Japan, they have a different response to how the American audience has.
Oh yeah.
The American audience is a clusterfuck of identities that do find Hollywood's whitewashing to just be exhausting.
Now, how do you whitewash an android? Let me ask you that.
Well, in the fact that it's not just the android.
But that's where everybody had the problem.
there's reducing it. Well, first of all, the Ghost in the Shell movie reduced it to a very ridiculous concept. Like it made it to a mother and daughter conversation when the anime was a far more profound exploration about humanity and its next step in this cyberverse.
Okay.
The movie reduced it to this very just basic, which American cinema tends to do when exploring outside properties. They reduce it to this pretty much mentally drained substance. It explored none of the things that Ghost in the Shell explored. It just says, oh, we're going to taste this property, as you mentioned it is a property, and we're going to just make it here for American viewers.
Yeah,
The anime explored far more than that, and this is a problem that I feel with American audiences, is that because you could bring a property here, you forget the artistic merit of that property that you bring over here.
That's two separate issues that you're complaining.
Those are two separate issues, but they compound each other. They affect each other. The relationship of it affects each other, and it affects its audience here.
Okay, I do agree that
Android with a racial identity is different than just an Android with an identity that was uploaded by its creators. Two different concepts you're exploring there. An identity, if it was a Japanese person, a person that grew up socially, culturally, and locally Japanese, then placed into a machine body that resembles a very Caucasian body, a very European body, and not explore that, shows you how mentally deprived the American Ghost in the Shell is.
Okay, I can see that. But I mean, Hollywood does take very, very awesome and unique IPs and sometimes strips away some of the stuff that the fans of the original IP liked. Like you're explaining, they chip that away because they don't think the audience is smart enough to follow all the intricacies of the stories they're telling, and they just want to make explosions and money at the bank. And I don't like that myself. It's crazy. What are your other two? What are your other two anime suggestions for me?
I would also say, if you can, just look at the completed works of Hayao Miyazaki.
Now that's the title, or is that an artist or creator? I don't know.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm spacing out. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned the name, so I just wasn't sure if that was like the title of the anime, or is that the creator?
No. I'm looking at just the author. I
okay.
like to Miyazaki. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm having one of those moments where you just have like a complete.
That's fine.
Like
all right.
Brain
Do you have
it out your head to the side? You're like, come on, I needed that. Hayao Miyazaki.
All right.
Look at the completed works of Hayao Miyazaki. Spirited Away.
Oh, okay. The floating castle and stuff.
All this stuff. Just look at his completed work and explore how he, and pretty much the extended works of Studio Ghibli, unfortunately owned by Disney. And
yeah, Disney's killing everything.
I hate Disney.
Disney is chewing up valuable, awesome properties and studios and just churning out commercial crap.
Yeah. Welcome to what happens when you get a black plague to the imagination.
Yeah. Like when I was talking with somebody the other day.
Never trust a rat.
When is the last time Disney came out with an original concept that worked?
Really,
never.
I
mean, it's
really
been so.
Don't know. I don't really follow with all of the. I don't follow the ins and outs of Disney. Disney is just a machine, and all it does is buy properties, and they try to make sure that a nostalgically addicted society is going to race off into the next thing or property or IP in which their audience could be addicted to, like the new crack.
They just
or
they
meth.
just buy
But
stuff up so they can make band-aids, book bags, and skateboards out of whatever they buy and cash that check. That sucks.
But we could sit here all day and blame Disney, and that's fine. But when you look at the audience themselves, it is they who go and buys this shit.
That is very true. That is very
And
true.
the predator is going to prey when there's fools around. The question is, do you want to be another fool? Now, that's your question. You can eat up, oh my God, I remember this shit when I was a kid. I would love to see a movie. No, by this time you should have, your palate should have evolved to something that you will want something else to consume. And not just, oh, I want to remember when I was a dumbass child.
All right, you mentioned one title that you were doing. Is that the one title? Is that all you're working on? Or are you working on multiple projects?
I moved to Oakland, California because I am doing a comic book about the Black Panther Party.
All right,
It's called Rise of the Black Panthers, and I am at issue 2. Issue 1 explores the beginnings from 1619 to the Civil Rights era, and issue 2 begins the influence of the Black Panther Party, and begins with Bobby and Huey's,
Okay, I've got questions now. All right, so you moved to California to write this? Like you couldn't write that while you were still here?
Well, I moved to Oakland to write there. I was living in Long Beach, California at the time.
Oh, okay. So you just all right. That's not what took you to California.
No. What took me to California is because I wanted to escape Georgia.
Oh well, you completely went to the other side there.
What's that? Oh, I said I wanted to escape Georgia.
Yeah, but there's other places to go. Like you could have gone to Florida. You could have gone to North Carolina. If I
go to Florida, as a person of color, that's open season. They'll shoot me down there. I don't want to die.
Oh my goodness, that cannot be the way you really think.
I avoid Florida at all costs.
That can't be the way you really feel.
Yeah, it's always like be very, very quiet. I'm hunting niggas. That's
think?
How I feel about Florida.
Did you feel that way in Georgia?
I felt different because I lived in Atlanta. Georgia is a large state, and once you were in the confines of Atlanta, you have other things to worry about. But that wasn't what you have in life. You have to limit what you're going to worry about. I decided that I don't want to go to Florida.
All right. I appreciate the decision. I appreciate the decision, but I guarantee you, if it was
smoke drugs here like weed,
okay.
I can't do that in Florida and Georgia. I like marijuana.
Well, you could have done it in Colorado.
Yeah, but there'll be a diversity of fuck faces around me.
Oh, so you like people watching?
No, I like to be around a diverse number of fuck faces while I get to live a life of a hermit.
Oh, I don't know that I fully follow the definition you're using for fuck faces.
Oh, fuck faces as in your generic human person made of meat and eyes.
All right, so basically everybody who is not you is a fuck face.
I too am a fuck face. All people are fuck faces. They have faces, and they sometimes fuck with their faces.
Oh,
so most
wow!
Of them are
all right.
Faces.
So you moved to California so that you could get out of Georgia and not worry about being shot as much, and so that you could smoke marijuana.
I mean, there's always a worry to be shot at somewhere. You just have to figure out why you're going to the possibility of being shot. I mean, mind you, the moment I stand outside and I see a gaggle of white people, I'm like, dear God, they might just protest or shoot me. I gotta get out of here.
Wow. All right. Well,
with I got the right to practice my right to carry semi-automatic weapons. I'm like, that is very nice.
Yeah, a lot of people do take the right to bear arms to the extreme just because they can, and it makes people uncomfortable, which is not what it was designed to do. Like, yes, you can legally walk down the street carrying a semi-automatic M16, but do you need to? Just so you can show off how big your dick is and say, hey, look at me, the Constitution says I can do this. there are people that do that, and I don't think that that's the right way it was supposed to be interpreted.
Now, mind you, as we are talking about this, the Black Panther Party that basically took arms against a terroristic and, very volatile system, took arms. While they took arms, they didn't shoot anybody. And then they had their arms taken away because, they feared of a group of black people who are defending themselves.
Well, I have to admit
the right to bear arms is a very specifically which race gets to bear arms. Black people try to bear arms, they shut that down. They shut that shit down fast.
Well, I have to plead ignorance. I don't know much about the topic.
Entire conversation.
All right, so you moved to Oakland to what? Ask more questions and get more answers so that you could write the comic book?
In order to write a good comic about a group of people, you gotta stalk those people properly.
All right, but I'm saying, so moving to Oakland has gotten you interviews and sit downs and gotten you the information that you need.
Yes, I have met some very amazing people, all involved in the Panther Party. Brave, strong, solid people who actually did give a fuck. Like legit people that legitimately gave a fuck.
All right, and for your comic book, is it all fact? Or is it like fiction based on fact, or how? Like, what is the comic book in itself? Is it a retelling of actual stories that you've heard, or are you creating a fictitious character and just having them take place in real events?
Unfortunately, I don't have to do that. The history itself is rich enough that I don't have to create an avatar to navigate through the story.
Okay.
I can merely just write the story from the people. I start off with the assassination, in the second issue, the assassination of Malcolm X.
Okay.
Which was the inspiration that led to the Panther Party, unfortunately. It was that assassination that took these two passionate people and began to form and formulate plans by speaking with the community and expressing what the needs of the communities were. They themselves were just the microphones of what the people needed. They brought structure and formulas that adapted to what was happening at the time. It's a very brilliant mechanism that occurred because of passionate, very normal people. These are not these made-up superhero people. This is literally the power of the people. And they represented themselves that power, and others represented that power as well. And this is why that formula grew worldwide.
All right.
And able to affect global decisions.
Okay. Well, I don't want to get the full effect. Like I want to cover more topics, but
I will say this: the difference about the book is this: I anamorphize all the characters in the book. So all European or white people are canines, all black people or Africans are panthers, all Asians are rabbits, and all police officers are pigs.
All right. So, have you got it?
Going the Art Spiegelman route, or what culture has been doing to articulate complicated matters, and they use animal masks or animals themselves to articulate delicate conversations.
I get
so I'm
it,
using
man.
it as a platform.
But do you get any backlash for that? Like, you've done 2 issues already. You said you're working on issue 3 right now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So have the first 2 issues garnered any kind of like negative feedback for you?
No.
No? All right.
Yeah.
And
I have not had any negative feedback yet. I'm pretty sure that it exists probably, but I'm going about the story as a means to express American history through the same mentality that Howard Zinn approached American history, trying to be as earnest and honest as possible.
Oh, I get it.
And
what is your means?
I'm approaching the story as earnest and honest as possible and trying to express that this is not just Black history, this is American history.
No,
This
no,
is a history that is all of us and not just this marginalized, compartmentalized catalog group of people.
I get it, man. But like I said, I'm not.
That division is what harms us.
I am not here to take sides. I'm here to talk about creating comic books and stuff. So,
oh yeah, I just wanted to just express that.
No, I got you. How are you delivering your comic books? Like, are you doing Kickstarters? Are you putting them in your local comic book stores? Like, what? How are you getting your comic books in people's hands?
There's the array of formulas. You attach yourself to conventions when you can. I put them in bookstores and in comic book stores. I feel bookstores are more welcoming to comics that are historical.
All right.
At best, in general, because comic books in comic book stores are usually where the direct market kind of goes at, and they usually, they know their money makers are superheroes, so they pretty much go and stay where they know they can make technically their rent, which is
But I mean, you could do you could put together a Kickstarter campaign and reach millions of people that need that your target audience, right? Like, so you haven't tried to put together a Kickstarter for these?
Right now, I'm just working on trying to collect the history of it. The Kickstarter is another avenue in which I feel like if I was going to go, why would I go to Kickstarter when I could go to Patreon?
Okay. Well, do you have a Patreon?
I do actually have a Patreon. So, I do have a Patreon. I would guess I will find a way how to share that with you once I figure how to do that.
All you got to do is tell me. I can find it.
Oh, okay. I think it would be under Alan. Let me just figure this out.
All right. It just seems like going through a Kickstarter would alleviate. Just Alan Clark?
Yes.
On Patreon?
Yes.
All right. But like through Kickstarter, what it does is it helps you not shoulder the burden of getting them all printed up by yourself.
No, but it does. But what you end up trying to get from a crowd, which I'm not against people managing their means to do that. I've done a Kickstarter before. I figured out that, like, yes, you're spending a lot of time mailing out a lot of work that you're going to hopefully you've accounted for in what you've raised up. Mm-hmm. Spending time doing that, the print. There's a lot of mechanisms than just saying, oh, I'm going to just go do a Kickstarter. Kickstarter is just, I don't want to I want this to be a long-term plan when I can easily do a Patreon, and then I can gradually I can have a control amount of prints and not just an outrageous number of prints.
All right, I don't
want to kill that many trees making them, honestly.
All right, so
I'm really concerned about, how many murders I got to be involved in tree-wise.
How many, if you had to guess, how many copies of the first issue have you printed, and how many issues have been given out?
You mean for free?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, how many did you have printed of the first issue? And then out of those, how many do you still have, like, in your apartment or in your house or wherever?
Well, I recently just released the second issue, and I usually do small runs of 25. This is I'm merely doing this all myself.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
It's a piecemeal situation, and I come from a position that I feel that the work must be completed before I can even suggest anyone, my audience, those who follow my work, to invest.
Well, then why did you release the first two issues?
A lot of Kickstarters and a lot of people that use crowdfunding that will ask for the money, not have the work completed, and then create a very bad taste in many people's mouths for giving opportunity, to trying out on new creators. This is a very common problem. I feel like completing the work first, completing the research first, gradually building the audience through, a one-on-one relationship at best. It's a slow burn, but It is a relationship. And I'm looking for more so ideas of maybe being picked up by a larger publisher that can provide me more of a world, an opportunity to, you know, I know people in Norway, like they have a very large and loving and fascination with the Black Panther Party. I feel like
Okay.
make moves in that direction in helping them. It's like this, you are interested in this history, I will, these are networks that are available. But
Is this the only project that you're currently working on?
Huh?
Is this the only project that you're currently working on?
No. Babylon, Rise of the Black Panthers, The Secret Adventures of Cosmic Death Monkey.
Okay.
Which is a deity who, you know, it starts off with a deity on the run from the celestial law because it created omnicide on unicorns across the multiverse. It killed all the unicorns and snorted its horns to get high.
All right.
By murdering every magical unicorn across the multiverse, the celestial courts are after it. And it must hide throughout dimensions to, I guess, either hopefully escape the law.
Now, how many issues of this are there?
Long math actually.
How many issues of that series?
I think I'm on a third. Many of it is mini episodes, which is a gradual, like weekly episode. It's episodic, and it's weekly.
Okay.
So
it's episodic, as in it's a visual, like it's a animation.
No, it's episodic, as in I put it out as a comic, but I call it episodes.
Okay, but is the episode one page?
Episodic is not just within the realms of television or video. It can also be applied to, comics.
Okay, but are you taking like all of these projects? So you've named off 3 projects that are all in various states of not complete, right? The story that is being told.
Babylon is an ongoing series. Cosmic Death Monkey is an ongoing series, and Rise of the Black Panthers is a 5-part series.
All right.
So 2 of them don't really have any foreseen finalization, nor can be considered incomplete. And one of them is merely a 5-part, series, which is a large book. It's history. It takes time.
No. I'm not putting it down. My question to you is, are you the only person working on these projects, or do you have a team, or do you have someone else you're working with on this project but not that project, or are you doing all this yourself?
This is all just me.
Writer, color, editor, drawing, everything.
Yes.
So what do you do for, like, that seems to be like it would eat up a lot of time.
It does make time worth living. Yes.
So do you have a 9-to-5 job that you do?
I freelance.
Okay, so you don't actually have to punch the clock every Monday through Friday.
No, I do have a clock that I have to punch every Monday through Sunday.
Okay, so after you get done with that,
freedom cost.
No, I understand. So after you get done with that, that's all your spare time is pretty much given to these 3 projects, I'm guessing.
All my time is given to these projects. This is what I am alive for. I don't live for anyone. I have no gods, no masters, no heroes.
All right. Well, you've got a boss.
Why would I live for anyone else?
You've got a boss, right, for your freelance job.
Super villain.
Now, what type of work do you freelance in? Like, what is it?
Illustration, comics. I work for other people. Shit like that.
Oh,
so like a person has an idea. I try my best to hopefully listen, and hopefully do my best to create what they hopefully imagine. I do my best. I hope, and there's always room for improvement.
I mean, if that is your sole source of income, sir, then more power to you, because it takes quite a lot to make a living as a freelance artist.
Hey, nothing is easy in this world. There's a lot of people that have to work because it's hard to really commit to something. This is a suicide switch, honestly. You take yourself away. Freedom is like suicide. It's beautiful, but it's hard.
Well, freedom is also different because you can be free every day, but you can only do suicide once.
That's true. But once you taste freedom, that's all you want. You can't go back.
No, but
You never.
sometimes bills will dictate, like, dude, my phone bill, my power bill is due today. I'm not going to be able to do this.
Oh, then you do other things to hopefully manage around it. If you have to go, I speak for even, for other people. You do work that is extension. Some people go back to work. Some people find avenues. They find agents. It's just, it's not a surefire thing. It's not easy, and it's very hard.
No, I understand, sir. So how many other,
Yeah.
like, if you had to say what is the most prominent project that you've been a part of that wasn't one of your own? Like, have you done anything that I may have seen at my local comic book store?
God, no.
Or why do you
I
say it
doubt.
like that?
Oh, no, I don't know. I haven't actually done anything. I haven't worked for anyone really for,
Well, you said you're freelancing, so I was wondering,
I
like,
am. I do a lot of work. Like I would work in. See, I did things for for the Future Foundation, nonprofits,
okay.
stuff like that. My range is more so. I want to work for other people's comics. I would love to be able to work on other people's comics. My style might be. It's not the conventional comic book superhero style.
Yeah. But not all
It's
comic books are superhero comic books. So there's a
I
style
know,
for
but a lot of
everything.
people are asking for superhero comics. It's a large demand right now, and a lot of people are trying to catch that bandwagon. Everyone's trying to make some money right now. It's hype. It's
Oh,
death
that's
throes of
not
capital.
new. That's not new information.
No, it's not. But you go with where the market goes sometimes. Fight against the current or use the current to help power your engines.
Yeah. I hear you. I admire the fact that you're doing the freelance thing, dude, because that means there's a lot of stuff that has to be going right in order for you to be where you're at right now. Either that or
Well,
you've got like some fairy godmother or something
no,
that,
God, no. The idea is saving. I think the mechanisms is this. I will say this. When you do not limit your spending, live a very minimalist life.
well, being a hermit helps.
Being a hermit helps because you create more. You have to go be with people, said the doctor, for an hour, and you can count that. But you have to live a minimalist lifestyle. You have to not be a consumer to everything. You have to learn that your local library is a very wonderful resource. Go back to reading novels. Uh, do not, don't, I mean, spend more time with people at your home. Don't go out to the bars. Don't be a consumer whore.
That is awesome.
Save.
That is
Save. Huh?
That's good advice. Like I I do fall victim to being a consumer, but I definitely am a homebody. I will go to the store and buy a $1.50 40-ounce beer as opposed to going to the bar and paying $6 for a 12-ounce beer. Like I'm not quite to that level. Like I know to stay home, so I could feel what you're talking about there.
You want to just, spend, don't consume, because consumption takes time and that takes away from what you are going to need to save up. Save money. Save for the time when you're not making any money.
Now,
And when you make money, save that
you are
while maintaining the minimalist lifestyle.
you're creating comic
go-
books.
Mhm.
Are you a fan of comic books? Did you grow up reading comic books?
Comic books saved my life, I say. It saved my life.
And how is
I
that?
feel, let's just say I had a very interesting upbringing.
All right.
And like most supervillains, we all have a very interesting upbringing.
So it
And-
sounds like you may look up to Mr. Glass as a role model.
No, God, no. First law of everything. The most logical thing to do is to do no harm.
Well, then you can't be a supervillain.
Who says I can't be a supervillain?
If you're not going to
When
do anybody
everyone
any harm,
when everyone is harming each other and treating everyone like shit, and that's the norm, the enemy of that is compassion.
oh,
Therefore, if compassion is the enemy of the people, you become a supervillain. That's just logic. Supervillains are against the status quo. When everyone says go to war, the villain says God no, and they lynch the fucker first.
all right. Well, it sounds to me like you have
compassion is the weapon.
Such a unique point of view that you have. It sounds like it may be hard for a title in the comic book world to like you'd be hard to pinpoint. So I'm curious as to what
That's
comic books
maturity in the comic community. We need to get out of this adolescent idea that everyone has to fit this prog, and we have to mature. I mean, we are existing in a moment where maturity is happening. Comics are really being accepted through the American masses, not just for superhero products.
Yeah.
It is being explored for its autobiographical properties. Is being explored for all nuances of art and life is being explored through comics, and that's showing a great maturity right now.
No,
But
I agree.
The mainstream is saying superheroes, and those who are following that feels like we have to fit
Well,
this
I don't.
this model. Like, I am a big fan of hand job Marvel or hand job DC. Bukkake party for everyone.
I don't want to. I'm not interested in the status quo or what the norm people. I want to know what comic books you're reading and what kind of stories interest you currently. Or do you even read comic books?
Right now, I'm on a comic book pause. I've been on a pause for a while. I've been exploring the works of, I am not going to pronounce his name because I'm not going to fuck up his name.
All right.
But the author of the Three Body Problem, Dark Forest, and Death's End. I'm reading his new book, Ball Lightning.
Okay.
And I'm really exploring. He understands his science. He explains science very casually and very affectionately. I feel that his storytelling ability, he is a Chinese author, and
Right.
it's very good to see, and authors that are not just your traditional American-based authors. I'm enjoying his work right now, so I'm exploring that right now, and I guess I'm just, that's where I try to explore one author a year. So I try to read one author, and I would just read their work for that year.
All right. So, what was the last comic book storyline that you do remember reading and enjoying?
I think the last story I enjoyed from, let's see, what was the last story? Okay, I'll go with the traditional two before I decided to go into hermit mode, enjoying novelization and stuff.
Okay.
I read Hickman's Secret War, and I liked that.
All right.
And then
I
that's
didn't
when
read
I
that
was-
one. You're talking
I
about the
liked
one
it.
that they just did a couple of years back, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I liked that. That was enjoyable. I liked the interweaving of all that. And then I was done with Marvel, pretty much.
Okay.
I guess I did explore DC's Bendis runs on Superman, and from what I did read of that was interesting. I did not dislike that.
Okay.
The things I thought the directions that I saw him going in the beginning, he's gone now, and I was very excited to see my theories correct about that.
Well, that's cool. Those are semi-recent. That's acceptable.
There's comic book stores everywhere. You go in there, you can't help it. You go and you buy.
Now you
buy
said
the stuff. While you're there.
you said your artistic style is very non-traditional. What artistic, where do you draw inspiration from artistically for your style? Who do you look up to artistically?
When visually, for a while, I was a big fan when I was younger, a Paul Pope fan when I was younger. I grew out of that, which is good. Always good to grow out of the people that you enjoy.
All right.
think that's good. It's always good to just, find your own trend. But my style would definitely say is a merge of hopefully Eastern and Western art styles.
Okay, so not anybody specifically. Like you didn't say like, dude, Todd McFarlane's my jam, Jim Lee's my jam. Like you're just saying Eastern and Western comic styles have molded together to make what you do.
I will say that is hopefully what I am approaching. I don't know if that is when you see it and when the audience see it, they'll have to come up with their own conclusion. But what I am hoping to approach is that mergent, that those two merging together. I hope to create that.
Well, I mean,
sometimes you hit the mark, sometimes you lose. You never know. It's like it's a game out there.
Well, it's getting you paid, right? And that's
hey,
you're getting paid to be a creator.
I don't know if it's getting me paid. I definitely say living a minimalist lifestyle has definitely helped. Enjoying your local parks, go out, enjoy nature more, enjoy the free things in life.
Yeah, but I mean, you do have to pay for your weed, right?
Oh God, yes, I do have to pay for my weed. That's when it's called budgeting. The third part is to budget your lifestyle.
Okay.
So if we're talking about live a minimalist lifestyle, 2, save, and 3, budget. Know what you do need to survive with, and know what you need to give the fuck off. Like, I can't do this shit anymore. I can't afford doing this shit anymore.
Now, as a consumer of marijuana, do you prefer smoking marijuana or ingesting it through edibles?
The last time I ingested it through edibles, I woke up drunk. I had a terrible experience. It was terrible.
Okay.
It was like I don't know what happened, but I ate too much of a very tiny brownie, and I had what I would remember as an acid. If I had an acid flashback, and it was trying to kill me.
Oh wow, that doesn't sound like fun.
That was not fun. That was not fun at all. So now I just smoke the damn thing.
Now, do you smoke and drink alcohol at the same time, or is it just smoking?
I don't drink alcohol.
Okay.
I don't like the taste of alcohol. I don't like what alcohol does to people. I don't care for alcohol, really.
Yeah, well, it is a devil. It is a devil that is legal, and for some reason, marijuana is less legal. I'm not the one going to pass the rules on that, but it just, I don't know, it seems odd.
I believe that any human being should do any drug the fuck they want as long as they don't harm any human being or had that drug while that drug was being made harm any human being or any life form. Try to limit how much life you harm. The only harm that you have unfortunately made is to the plant life, which is in this case, marijuana, or becomes marijuana, but the life form itself is the only life form unfortunately harmed. And that is sad, as you have to think about it, is, to, basically create plant prisons for any life form so you can consume either enjoyably or for your own, mass consumption, still leaves one life form being murdered.
Yeah, but I mean, shit, you got to eat, right?
Well, no, you have to eat, and that's the truth of the matter. But one should be aware of what life has been taken. It helps to apply personhood to everyone.
I agree. And dude, Alan, it has been a great time talking to you. It's very enlightening talking to you. You have a very unique perspective on things that I don't typically get when I talk to somebody. Left me stumbling for some time here. Is there a website?
I'm glad you're here. Thank you for talking with me.
No problem.
I appreciate this conversation.
Is there a website that people can go to find out more information on the projects that you're working on?
There are 2 websites. One website, my personal comic website, is Phantom Electric, PhantomElectric, K at the end.com.
All right.
PhantomElectric.com.
And that's an ongoing series.
that has the that has Babylon, Cosmic Death Monkey, that has also the Black Panther Party.
Okay.
Comic. And the other website, ZQ287.com.
Oh, wow.
Is a website of me and my colleague Steve Bramble. He and I work together in sharing our collective thoughts of ontological mechanics.
I don't know.
Ontological
You're
mechanics.
using some big ass words, man. I don't know what half that shit means.
Oh, don't worry. It's
All right.
probably in the end, it's all just mad noises made by a bunch of, self-important ape monster people.
Fuck faces, remember? Fuck
Just
faces.
thinking that we're, huh?
The fuck faces, right? Everybody's got.
Of course.
Now,
Fuck faces.
Is that your podcast, or is that a radio show that you do, or just ramblings, or a YouTube channel?
No. That's where I also share comics, and he and I share our literature. And the literature of Dean and Jeff, two other brilliant artists from Long Beach who explore also very unique ideas. We're just a bunch of crazy people who decide to put all our shit on a site and see you fuckfaces and us as fuckfaces. We're all fucking enjoy the goddarn thing.
All right. Well, dude, it's been fun. I hope you have a rest of the afternoon that is awesome. And I'm glad
you as well. Have fun out there.
I'm glad you're not burning up over here in the 98-degree heat with like a 50% humidity.
Oh God, no. That's terrible.
I know you missed that.
No, I don't.
All right. Do you have any conventions or any appearances coming up right that you want to plug?
Fracture Expo in Oakland, California.
When is that?
Coming up on February 21st.
Oh, what's the month?
I think
September 21st?
This month.
Okay.
Yes. And Afro Comic Con, which is... When is Afro Comic Con? Hold on.
I'm guessing that's in California as well.
That is also in California. Oh, October 18th.
October 18th. What did you say? Afro Comic Con?
Afro Comic Con.
All right. Do you have to have an afro to get in, or do you just have to be black?
No.
I
think they accept all hairstyles and all those with or without hair. I think
well, with a name like that, it sounds like it's very centric. Like, are all the creators on hand going to be of African American descent, or?
It's exploring comics with those with African creators, black creators.
Okay.
African
So it's focused on black creators, whether they're artists, writers, just people with a black, supporting that community.
Yes, black fuck faces.
I wasn't going to say that, but if you had to boil it down.
Or the Asian fuck faces, or the other fuck faces. I don't know. Everyone has divide themselves to all kinds of needs.
I don't know, but I dare a motherfucker try to fuck me in the face. All right, Alan, thank you.
We've all been fucked in our face by ourselves. We have all self-fucked our face.
That's said by anybody else. But if anyone's interested, you can go to silverbax.com. Check out all the stuff I've got there, to the social media, to the podcast, all that good stuff. Thank you, Alan, for being here. And
thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Everybody, please be good people and stay creative.
It's almost